Hi and welcome back. Can I be converted to loving face oils? I've been testing some out. It's very interesting because I've asked so many experts about why generally within the dermatology community people don't like face oils. And it's not all dermatologists, not all medical professionals, but generally the hard and fast dermatologists do not like oils. They like balms, they like lotions, they like serums, but they just don't like oils. And when I asked for an expert's opinion, and I think it was actually a formulating chemist, I think it was somebody like, who was it? Might have been Lad Muffing actually, who is actually not a formulating chemist, but she is a chemist with a specialist area in beauty. She said to me, I think it's because traditionally what they don't like is they don't like fragranced plant oil, they don't like essential oils, because most sources of irritation within skincare comes from fragrance. And a lot of beauty brands say, but we only use natural oils and we only use natural fragrances and it doesn't make any difference. A lot of scientists will argue that with the exception of something like tea tree oil, most oils don't really have any sort of clinical effect on the skin. It's more about fragrance, mood, mind, memory, relaxation, all those things. It's a sensorial experience. Most of them don't actually have a physiological effect on the skin. So, perfect case in point, Vintner's Daughter, supposed to have plant extracts. Some people love it. Some people love it. I look at it and just think, are you crazy? That's just a complete list of things that will irritate your skin. I get it smells amazing, but it's just like a list of possible allergens and irritants to your skin. So I don't get it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that oils in themselves are bad for your skin. Now, the other argument against oils is that you're making your skin sort of do the hard work. If what you're trying to get out of the oil, so if you're trying to get something out of an olive oil or a coconut oil or an argan oil, and you're trying to get all of the fatty acids and esters out of it, your skin has to then produce enzymes which then breaks that oil up to get what it needs out of it, the active ingredients out of it. And my argument has always been, let the chemists do that in a lab and then they can just give you the ceramides, fatty acids, esters, fatty alcohols straight away into your skin. However, there is this incredible new trend, relatively new trend for what are called dry oils, where the oil is just essentially almost a slightly occlusive emollient that is a carrier. So it's not the oil itself that you need, it's a carrier for things. Perfect case in point. I've got 4 here that I'm going to talk about. So here is a perfect case in point. I have fallen in love with what I would call an oil, but it's technically a serum. We've talked about this before. A lot of times you'll find natural beauty brands say that they have a serum and it's not. It's pretty unsophisticated, gloopy, not very pleasant oil. This is Medicate. This is obviously a brand I know, I love, I trust. This is what I would call a dry oil. So it sort of sits somewhere between a serum, which I think of as being water-based, and an oil. And it's actually a dry oil that contains, and I'm going to need my glasses here, and I've fallen in love with this. And I used it right around my eyes when my eyes were really itchy, called Teprenone. And basically it's a really strong, calming anti-inflammatory. And I love it. When my skin and my entire face was suffering during the whole hay fever, really hot in spring, so I had a combination of my hay fever from spring plus the heat plus lockdown, I was putting this on all over and I absolutely love it. It sinks in real seconds. It's not a serum. It feels like an oil, but it's almost like a water oil. So when you start to rub it in, you think, yeah, it's got the slip of an oil, but then it disappears, and what you end up with is just, it smells medicinal. I like that. What you end up with is just hydrated, really nice skin. And actually, interestingly enough, I put makeup on top and I used it right up around my eyes when they were really sore. Makeup did not pill. In fact, my makeup sat on beautifully on top of it. Medicate. I'm in love. I really, really like it. The other oil I wanted to try while I was taking this time off, and then obviously, you know, if I use an oil overnight and my skin has a bad reaction, it's not such a problem because I don't have to go out in public, although I do have to film for you, is I tried the Zelens Power D And I wanted to try it because I do genuinely, and I've mentioned this in a couple of videos recently, I do generally think vitamin D is going to explode into skincare probably later this year and early next year. And it really should, because the research is beginning to come out that vitamin D is really important for skin metabolism, for a healthy barrier function, for a healthy skin microbiome. And this comes from a doctor called Marco Lenz and his range Zelens. And Marco Lenz is he's an expert, he's a dermatological surgeon, but he's an expert in skin cancer. And he's done a lot of research in the development of skin cancer. He's published papers, the removal of skin cancers, the treatments of skin cancers. So vitamin D is important in your skin in the same way that it's important in your body. It gives your skin a boosted sort of barrier immune function. And Caroline loves this oil, but then Caroline loves oils, and she's always she's always got this sort of healthy, plump glow about her skin all over her body, and I know she slathers rich oils and unguents and potions all over her body. This is an oil. It's without a doubt an oil. I have tried it, and it's a relatively light oil. It's not as light as the Medicate one, but it doesn't really sink in. The problem with it is when I wash it off, my skin doesn't feel any more hydrated. I think it's probably had a massive dose of vitamin D and it's good for it in the long term, but I wash it the next morning and my skin is as if I've had nothing on it. So for me, this is literally more of a barrier function, slightly occlusive oil that delivers vitamin D rather than something that is the Medicate one. I felt ongoing benefits. I just don't feel it with the Zelens one at all. Another one I've been testing is the Typology. It's only a 0.3% retinol, but I wanted to start testing retinols in an oil base. Again, this is my perfect time to test things that I wouldn't normally test because I wouldn't want to risk an outbreak at all. And the Typology one, apart from the fact it's incredibly chic packaging. Now, the advantage of putting a retinol in oil is it's more stable. Products, if you put them in an oil, obviously what you're doing is oil and water don't mix. So you've got a water-free formulation, and a water-free formulation is more stable. It needs less preservatives, and it sort of protects the active ingredients. But that is like a proper full-on oil, getting into vintner's daughter territory here, which you might like. It's something I would recommend in winter, when it's colder outside, or it's something I would recommend for drier skins. And again, I washed it off the next morning. I'm sure it delivered the retinol into my skin, but it's a fairly low dose retinol for me, and I just don't like the feeling of oils on my face. And finally, another amazing super light oil. Again, not for me because it's not for my skin type, but it's super lightweight. And this is the brand new Dermalogica Retinol Clearing Oil. They say it's clearing. It's a sort of, I tell you who it's perfect for. It's perfect for a woman who has occasional breakouts and pigmentation issues, because all three of them are going to be tackled. This is a really nice oil. Really nice oil. This is super lightweight. This is just like the Medicate one. There you go. It's a little dropper, like a water, unfragranced. You can only smell the actives, and I like that because some Dermalogica products obviously are a little bit more fragranced. Super lightweight. I mean, it's nice. Dermalogica's expensive, but it's nice. So I just wanted to say to you that it's not that I'm changing my mind about oils. I just think that the role of oils in skincare has changed slightly. I think probably the clever chemists have got their hands on them. And I really need to get a really great formulating chemist on here. Lorna Radford or Nasheen Qureshi to talk about it. Please, when lockdown's over. Oh, I miss filming with people. I miss having people here. It's not the same on Instagram and Zoom where there's that awful time lapse. I miss filming with brilliant people. I want to film with people who are more interesting than me. And I want to understand the chemistry of those dry oils and why I like them, and the role that they could play in your skincare, and what actives are delivered via oil. This I love. Medicate Calming Serum Dry Oil. It's a little brown bottle of magic. This is very similar, beautifully, beautifully formulated, similar in texture, I mean. Right, oil. And then over here we have two heavier oils, the Zelens Vitamin D, which I think I will carry on using because I do want to start putting vitamin D into my skin. And then the Typology retinol, which is reasonably priced, but better for dry skins. So if your oil is delivering actives and not fragrance, if your oil has been beautifully formulated to suit your skin type, then I think for me better at night, although that said, that Medicate serum I used as a makeup base, it was gorgeous. If you've got oilier skin, the jury's out. It's up to you. A lot of people will argue that oil on oil is a good combination. Most dermatologists argue that it isn't. I'm getting older and drier by the second, so maybe it's the time to embrace the new generation dry oils. What oils are you loving? Some of you are going to say Vintner's Daughter, I know. Some of you are going to say traditional essential oils. If you don't have a sensitive skin, go for it. One of my really good friends is the founder of S-Bar, Susan Harmsworth, and she has beautiful skin. She must be, 73, 74 now. She's used essential oils on her skin all of her life. But 9 times out of 10, dermatologists don't like oils. And they don't like essential oils. So it's a personal journey. I'm just giving you my opinion. Look out for the new brilliant dry oils coming your way soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon.